What's up, everybody, and welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Cuppa Hockey presented by Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And we are also presented by Parasso, the most complete choice for shaving and beard care. Made in Italy since 1948, Parasso has been a staple of Italian culture and barbershops globally for 4 generations. So get 15% off at Parasso-USA.com with our promo code Hockey15 in all caps, Hockey15. That's Colby Cohen. I'm Johnny Lazarus. Just the two of us today. So we will be talking to the chat a lot as we get ready for a full day of men's Olympic hockey games after what was a great start yesterday. Slovakia upsetting Finland, Italy kind of staying in the game till the very end with Sweden, as much as they could have.
I think what I would say is yes, on the scoreboard they did stay on the game, but
yeah.
I mean
it was 2-2 with like 3 minutes left in the second.
I know, but they had 3 shot. They were outshot 20.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
It actually gave me.
I think shots were 33-4, and it was 2-2.
it gave me. Hold on, I'm just trying to get the chat to pop out so I can put it on my other screen. But it actually gave me like a flashback memory watching that Italy game. Of playing in the Champions League in Europe. Like I got asked at the end of my career, Johnny, to play in Nottingham for the Champions League. And, you know, what they tried to do in Nottingham was tried to bring in a couple of like washed up former, players that they thought maybe could help them because they were going up against we were going up against Swedish league, Finnish league, like top leagues. And like, while the hockey in Great Britain it's not bad actually. Like it's better than I thought it would have been. It's
like a good league now.
It is now, but it's still not on par with like the Swedish league or the Finnish league. And I remember our Nottingham team played Luleå, which was like one of the best teams in the Swedish league that year. And I'm not kidding you. We probably had the puck for like a grand total of 4 or 5 minutes the entire game. I got a shorthanded breakaway. We lost the game 8-1 or 9-1. I got a shorthanded breakaway goal because I was so frustrated on a penalty kill that as the half wall guy went up to the point, as a D, you're not really supposed to chase him up to the point, as you know. And I just was like, fuck it. I'm just going to chase him up to the point. And I was fortunate that the puck rolled on the guy and I get a shorthanded breakaway. But it honestly made me think of that. Like those games to play in when you are just chasing your tail, they absolutely suck. And that's, listen, that goalie for Italy, the guy who started,
he was unbelievable.
He got hurt.
Damian Clara.
He was really good. I mean, he was dialed. You know what I mean? But that those games when you're, I mean, listen, I saw one writer tweet something like, no matter what happens for the rest of the tournament, this is a success. The Italians, the tournament, the whole Olympics is a success for the Italian hockey team. And like when I saw that, I'm just like, God, tell me you never played sports without telling me you never played sports. Like no athlete in their right mind is looking at this going, all right, it's 2-2 after 2. Like we've completed all we wanted to do at the Olympics. Like whether you're the underdog or not, I don't know. I thought that tweet was fucking embarrassing.
I saw the post-game comments from, what was his name? The guy who scored the opening goal. He played in Omaha in the USHL. He scored the first goal for Italy. What was his name? Let me find it because it's going to piss me off. I tweeted about him. Here you go. Luca Frigo. He said something about just how they want to play Canada, like how he wants to be on the ice with Crosby and McKinnon and all those guys. Like they understand their position. Right, I don't think they think they're going to win a game, So I think doing the best they could do is probably a win for them.
See, I disagree with you. You're still going into the games lying to yourself.
Yeah, you want to win. Yeah, of course.
And saying we're going to do everything we can to win. Like again, yes. Are you looking at it going, yes, it's Sidney Crosby, but you're also going.
Yeah, you're in the heat of battle. You want to win, but you know your chances.
Keep talking. Go ahead. I stopped, so you can.
Yeah, you know your chances are very, very limited. Like yesterday, looking at Sport Logic. Like I'm a Sport Logic guy. I love looking. Like they have the great information. The even strength ozone possession time. Italy had 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah, it was painful. I felt bad. I really did.
Yeah,
I've been in games like that. I honestly felt bad.
I've been on both sides of that.
It's
and honestly, sometimes it's worse to be on Sweden's side.
Really? What's worse about it?
Like if you're actually like up 8-0 though. Like Sweden was in a 2-2 game, like it was different. But if you're winning 8-0, it's like the most boring game you could possibly play in because you don't want to shoot, you don't want to be a dick. Like, it's
Yeah, I disagree.
You're stat padding.
You're up 8-0. You're playing. You're going. Just I don't know. We're just wired differently. I see 8-0, and I'm like, let's get it to 15. I would just,
really?
What I mean? I don't. Yeah, dude.
I see 8-0, and I'm like, let's make 10 passes before we shoot.
This is grown men, and not to mention in these tournaments, goal differential becomes a factor. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure you're taking care of that type of stuff, without a doubt. So I had a couple of other. I mean, I want to talk about. I want to talk about some of the ice time things from yesterday that were really strange, like with Forsberg and OEL. But before we do that,
I want to do something before too.
Before we do that, I got to tell you something. The smaller ice surface, in my opinion, was something that I noticed. And I'll tell you where I noticed it. The corners are really shallow, right? And there were a number of times where defensemen early in those games would be either D to D or taking the net and then looking for a breakout play, and how quickly the corners kind of run up on you. And what you realize is you lose your angle to make a good breakout pass, because when you drift just 1 or 2 extra feet towards the corners as a defenseman, now all of a sudden that easy 5-foot play up to your winger, now that's a straight line pass, which is pretty difficult. So I did notice at times the Swedish defensemen, even early in the game, I noticed it a lot with the Finnish group. Obviously their outcome wasn't very good. And to me, their D had a difficult time breaking pucks out. Right. And when I'm looking at the rink, just like the eye test says to me, I know the neutral zone is where the condensed area is. And I think that's going to be a huge factor, especially when the really good teams play. But breaking the puck out yesterday just looked a little bumpier, because like, to me, the corners definitely look more shallow.
I thought it was the face-off dots in the neutral zone that looked way closer to the blue line. I don't know what that how many feet that is typically between the face-off dot and the blue line, but it seemed to be very close in this instance. But I didn't see like any players complain. I didn't see many complaints about the ice surface feeling smaller.
No one's going to. There's nobody.
You'd think like the Finnish guys after losing that game would like look for some sort of excuse maybe, and I didn't see anything.
I guarantee you that it has been spoken about within every sport federation that you're not going to comment on the ice and you're not going to comment on the rink size throughout this tournament. And the reason being, Johnny, is I think in a tournament like this, like there's a little bit of that psychological warfare going on between teams, especially teams that aren't going to see each other in the round robin. And you don't want to give your opponent anything. Yeah. Right. And so I would be surprised. And you're probably at some point someone's going to say something, but until a team gets eliminated from the tournament, I don't think
they're not going to say shit. Yeah.
You're going to hear any players coming out and complaining. The only guy I could kind of see doing it would be Willie Nylander, because he just doesn't give a fuck. I mean, that is the one guy. He might as well just throw his tank top on and go out there without shoulder pads. Like, his give a fuck meter is just, I mean, it's something to watch. Like, his talent is so insane, but his his give a fuck meter is just it's just a non-factor. But listen, I know people kind of poo-poo it, but I think the 1 or 2 feet, like, it's going to take these guys a little bit of time. And I think that, again, the more shallow corners, I think creates a little bit of an adjustment for these defensemen to make sure they're holding their ice kind of within and not fading, like D and on breakouts. You just sometimes you're kind of standing there waiting for a puck. You just fade that one extra step, and I think that that would be something that we should keep an eye on.
Do you agree with MYR Marine's comment, though? Like the first goal for Slovakia, Slav intercepted the puck, but it felt like he was from the wall to the goal in half the time it takes to the NHL. I don't agree with that.
That play felt like it developed a little bit quicker. It did. But
really,
again,
he's so long. He is so long. Like his strides are massive. Like I don't think that had anything to do with the size of the ice, though.
These bigger, longer guys, right? I mean,
that turnover was terrible.
It felt quick. It felt quick. And Slav, man, this guy's he's like he's a big.
I think 13 goals and 12 Olympic games.
He loves being an IIHF performer, and we are sorry that we can't show any goals.
I know, it's so annoying.
If we show any footage from the Olympics, NBC will evict Jonny from his apartment, and it'll be a big problem. His girlfriend will be suing NBC, and it'll get ugly really quickly here when Jonny's living out on the street.
It is annoying though. Like I'm going on Twitter to try to find like a replay or something, and there's nothing. It's really annoying. What is this new column from Jonny?
Read it out loud. Remember, there's people that are audio.
It's like blocked though. It's blocked. It's like one of those comments that's like hidden. I don't know if you can see it. It's like held for review. I'll show it. And when Marine said, where'd it go? New column from Jonny. Is having more sex with my girlfriend more? It's kind of a bad headline. Is having more sex with my girlfriend more actually a bad thing? I love NYR Marine's comments. But really, yesterday,
you don't exactly paint the best picture of yourself. Like you really like neuter yourself when we talk about sports, Jonny. I mean, you really do. I mean, you're like, you lack any bit of killer instinct, man.
I don't have killer instinct. I never had killer. Ask my mom. Ask my mom. My mom's probably listening right now, and she's like, "You never had a killer instinct." Ever.
What happened in a practice or a game when you got run over? What would you do? Like, would you get up and tell the guy good hit?
In practice, yeah, probably. Not in a game. If I got fucking laid out, yeah, like if it was a clean hit. What about the
person that took all your teeth out? Did you go for their throat or what?
Nah, it was the puck. Actually, we became friends. But also, like, dude, when that happened to me, I thought it was like kind of sick. I was like, oh, I look like a real hockey player. This is awesome, and
the closest thing you were to a hockey player was the teeth.
The kid actually DM'd me. He's like, I feel like I did you a favor. His name is Danny Corrali. I don't know where he is now, but he played for the Odessa Jackalopes. But yeah, I never had, dude. I also, I mean, if we're talking about my personal like upbringing or whatever, I never felt like I was gonna make it to D1. So I was just like so happy to be there when I got there. Like it was never like I had to prove that I was the best. You didn't have an older
brother either.
Yeah, I never had to like prove that I was the best. I just really wanted to make it.
An older brother.
No,
you had a sister, and although she probably beat you up, but still,
no, she didn't. She didn't.
No,
but. Yeah, I was just, I don't know. I was just different. And my dad coached all my teams, and my dad like wanted us to just like go have fun. Like my dad didn't give anyone like extra playing time. He rolled all four, like, he rolled all the lines. Like he made everyone get fair playing time. Like he was just one of those, just one of those fun first dads.
Let me bring up another topic.
Jenna's look at Jenna's comment.
Okay, if you're Jonny, how many times I got to tell you? We're 3 years into this show. If you're gonna talk about a comment, you got to read the comment out loud.
Jonny's lack of killer instinct is why he didn't go further in his career. Is my hypothesis. I think the talent was there more than he believed in himself about. Yeah, it's probably true. This is turning into a therapy session. Let's talk Olympic hockey.
So let me ask the chat if they're bothered by this, because I don't see why people are so bothered by the fact that the Canadian Olympic team has decided that they're going to stay in, a 5-star hotel rather than staying in the Olympic Village. And I think
it's a little weird.
A lot of people are all up in arms about it. Let me just say this. As someone who stayed in the Olympic Village, it's the most uncomfortable bed ever. I think the Canadian guys are smart to go stay in their hotel rooms. Like, you can still hang out in the Olympic Village. but I don't understand why people are kind of freaking out about it. Like,
I didn't know it was an option.
I think it's a smart decision for these guys to go stay in a hotel. And I'll tell you, so when I went over there, TV got put in a fancy 5-star hotel in Korea. Radio got put in the Village. Like, at one point, I was like sleeping on like a rollaway bed in Kenny's room in the 5-star hotel because my back was broken from being at on one of those beds at the Olympics. And maybe they're better in Italy than they were in Korea, but I got to tell you, like, the beds in the Village in Korea were brutal. And if I'm there trying to be the best that I can be as an athlete and win a gold, I'm staying in a fucking hotel, man. You go hang in the Village, hang with the other athletes, play cards, do all that stuff. You know, you meet a ton of really cool people in the dining areas and stuff like that. But man, go be fucking comfortable. Like, I don't know why people are butthurt about this. It doesn't really make sense to me. And I just wasn't sure if I was just being my normal, self while thinking like, what the fuck are we talking about here? So that's why I wanted to ask the chat, because I feel like they'll center me on this one if I'm just being too me or if I'm right on this one.
But I didn't know that, again, like I said it like a couple of seconds ago, I didn't know that they had an option. I thought if you're playing in the Olympics, like, you stay in the Olympic Village.
Yeah,
like, has that always been the case?
That's probably negotiated. You know what I mean? I think the NHLPA probably negotiates that a little bit just to make sure, because like I don't know, like I said, I think they should just have better accommodations for everyone, give them better beds. I mean, I think the idea of rooming together and that whole thing, like, great, but like, give these guys fucking more comfortable beds. I mean, those beds are like made out of paper. Not to mention the Olympic Village is I'm going to say it's like an orgy. It's literally like an orgy.
That's what I've heard.
Those beds don't even hold up in those cases. I mean, listen, when I went to the Olympics in 2018, it was just before I met my wife. So that whole setup there is like, it's a literal, they just like hand out condoms in the Village. I mean, they just fully embrace the fact that it's like a big fat orgy in the Olympic Village. It really is. Like, I'm just telling you guys what it's like.
Yeah, that's funny. But I didn't see there was who was making the big fuss about it?
Well, there was an article in the New York Post, and then there was a lot of people talking about it all over social media. I mean, it's been weird. My social media the last few days, which I'm sort of starting to look at again, has been, it's definitely looked a little bit different. It's not the normal, like, angry Flyers fans talking about Michkov, which has been interesting. Although I did see that breakdown from that guy, Petey. Did you see that breakdown from that guy?
I didn't watch it, but I'm a fan of his. I like him a lot.
Yeah, you should check that out. That probably cut deep with a lot of Flyers fans. Yeah, I saw it on social media, Johnny. And like I said, I feel like when I see things and I'm kind of like, whatever, like, I have my sort of harsh reaction to them. I always like to bring that to the show just to kind of see, what people would think and kind of how people will handle those situations and feel about the reaction to it.
We have a comment from Puck Battle. I don't know I'm assuming you understand this if you saw the article or whatever, but was this 5-star thing planned from the start, or did they switch after the Olympics started?
No, it was always.
It must have been planned. Yeah.
By the way, it's open.
You can't just switch to a 5-star hotel.
The hotel rooms are open to. I'm pretty sure there's for all NHLPA members. There's that option. Now, Sweden or Switzerland or Slovakia might be like, nah, you can't go do that. Like, they may have a team rule, but the Americans could do the same thing. They could do the same thing. So it's I'm pretty sure it's an NHLPA thing. Something, we could ask Shaddy about. He's there in Italy, or at least he's going to Italy in the next day or so, just to, be boots on the ground to represent the players over there. But so yeah, anyways, so sounds like everybody, it's a non-issue for people. They kind of agree. Let the players do what the players want. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah. Okay, so, now that we've kind of talked about other things outside the hockey, like what was your biggest takeaway from the games yesterday? Like for me, just right away, again, I didn't really pay close attention to Pyeongchang or Beijing. Like those were the last two Olympics, I think, right?
There's no players there. The hockey
I know,
stunk.
but like I was dialed into Slovakia, Finland. Like it was such a good game start to finish. It was very fun, and right away, like it was more physical than I thought it would be, though. Like I think you and I had discussed like the IHF rules, like it won't be as physical. Dude, I think like Tom Wilson's gonna be able to play his game. Yeah,
they let a lot go. Eddie Olczyk was calling it out quite frequently. They let a lot of clutching and grabbing go, and that's something though, Johnny, that I guess I'm not super surprised about, because my issue is always that they won't call that, but then you'll hit a guy clean and you'll lay him out and they'll call a penalty basically for hitting too hard, and that's always kind of been my issue with IIH refs. It doesn't bother me the way that they call, or let things go, whatever. They call hitting too hard basically, and they're way too quick on the trigger to call a 5-minute major. Like, I mean, look, if you said to me, I'd have to make a bet right now that Tom Wilson will end up with a 5-minute penalty in the Olympics. I mean, it's almost something that would be like a safe bet. I don't know if that's a prop bet on Bet365, but that would feel like a safe bet. And it's probably going to be on a clean hit too. He's probably going to clean someone's clock clean, but IIHF refs are going to be like, whoop. So, and I do think there's some NHL refs that are a part of the IIHF, the Olympics, by the way. I do think it's a mixture.
Can I read this? So the IIHF put out this tweet yesterday with the rules, and they said, like, they had this explanation, and this one says physical play is called a bit differently. And here's what they wrote. In IIHF games, officials focus less on whether a player is injured and more on whether an action recklessly endangered an opponent. That means the officials focus more in the action of a hit versus the result, endangering a player versus injury, especially in a tournament where player safety is a top priority.
That's such bullshit. That's the opposite of IIHF refs. They fucking call the result every time, because they're not good enough. They're just not good enough, most of them. So that, to me, is the fucking polar. That pisses me off, honestly. I didn't see that tweet. You hear my voice? It just went up 3 fucking levels. That
I'll send this to
tweet
Vic.
right there, in my opinion, is fucking bullshit. Anybody in this chat, and we have a lot of hockey historians in this chat, watching the IIHF, that is the opposite of what we're used to seeing with the IIHF. They call the result all the time rather than the actual hit itself. So I think that's just completely fucking condescending, that tweet, and stupid and full of shit, in my opinion, which I would expect nothing less. The IIHF is run by a bunch of clowns. It's a clown organization. It's a fucking clown show, the people that run the IIHF. So
do you want me to read the rest of them?
Don't even get me started. Go ahead. Read what you want to read.
Well, I mean, this is just the whole tweet. There's only 5 rules that they put out here.
Go ahead.
So the next one is safety first, no exceptions. If a player loses their helmet, they must immediately leave the ice, no finishing the play. You'll also see mandatory neck laceration protectors worn by all players during warm-up games. That's whatever. Penalties don't always change the numbers. Coincidental minor penalties won't lead to 4-on-4 hockey like in the NHL. Instead, teams stay at 5-on-5, keeping the game structure consistent. Reviews and challenges. It's on the teams. One key thing to watch late in games: the situation room will not step in under any circumstances. If a play is challengeable, it's up to the teams to make that call, even in overtime. That one's pretty interesting. Face-offs and crease play may look different. This one is wild to me. You're gonna listen to this one. Centers won't get kicked out of face-offs. Instead, violations are handled the same way as after an icing. If a team commits a second violation on the same draw, it results in a bench minor penalty. Around the net, referees may stop play if an attacking player establishes position in the goal crease. If a player's in the crease, the refs can just blow the whistle dead. That's crazy. And the second violation resulting in a penalty, that's pretty wild. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I thought the crease play is super weird. Like, you could have Tom Wilson or Matthew Tkachuk just standing in the crease, and if there's like a mini 2-on-1 happening, they could blow the play dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, the first one was why I wanted to call it out. But like, I just didn't know if people saw that the IHF put out these like little six different rules that you should. It was like things you should know. I don't know. What's the chat saying? I haven't looked at the chat.
Yeah,
but it was different than Four Nations, you know.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Like we said, they let them play a lot yesterday. They missed, in my opinion, some of the things that were a little more blatant. And I just worry about the heavy hitting. I worry more about the clean, heavy hits when the big dogs start playing each other. And, Tom Wilson he runs around, but I think his hits are pretty clean. Like, I think he's gotten really good with that kind of stuff. And I want to see that in the Olympics. I want to see him lighting people up. I really do. Do you think that line with Wilson, McDavid, and Celebrini, do you think that's a line that stays together and gels? Like, what are your thoughts there?
Originally, I thought no. Honestly, I feel like I'm interested to see where Nick Suzuki ends up. Vic and I were talking about it this morning before you hopped on. Like Suzuki, I think Vic didn't like Suzuki in that spot. He liked Jarvis in that spot. I actually think Suzuki, McDavid, and Celebrini could work. Suzuki to me is like a sneaky underrated playmaker. And I feel like with those two guys, he can keep up. He can get to the front of the net. Like, obviously, he's not as greasy as Tom Wilson, but he does have those parts to his game. He's just not as big. So I think Suzuki might end up playing his way up the lineup, and Jarvis with his speed. Like, I think that Marner, Crosby, Stone line doesn't have much speed, for a third line. Like, Marner is not like I think people could say he's quick, but he's not so fast. I like when Marner has the puck coming up the ice, I don't see him as explosive. Yeah, Sid's obviously a strong skater, but I don't think he's like considered fast. And Stone is definitely not fast.
I think Marner ends up with Crosby and Celebrini. That's my, McDavid.
Yeah.
Sorry, McDavid. Yeah. That team, man, those forwards like McDavid, McKinnon, Celebrini, Marner, Crosby.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's crazy.
I'm so excited to watch that game.
It is going to be such a treat to watch the U.S. and the Canadian teams play in the Olympics this year. I mean, we know this is the most talent we've ever seen on an American team. We know that, right?
Yeah.
We've never seen this type of talent. To our Canadian friends in the chat, D, Sharma, there's a lot of you guys here today. Is this the most skilled Canadian team, or do you go back to like when Lemieux and
Gretzky
and those guys, like, like how do you put this team, like when you look at this team on paper, maybe I would say the back end, not as good as some of those years when you had like Duncan Keith and Pronger and all those guys, patrolling the blue line. And then your goaltending was like
Carey
Price and like Luongo or those were three of the group. But
dude, I think in 2014, Colby, Canada let up one goal in their last 3 games. Like, Carey Price was unbelievable, and their defense was insane. Like, the U.S., I think JVR told me they had like 12 shots going into the third period in that semifinal game. Like, they were loaded on the back end and in goal. One question, though, from Tutty T 7855, is the smaller ice little advantage for more skilled teams? It's actually a disadvantage.
Oh, yeah,
excuse me.
For sure, there's less.
It's room. A disadvantage for more skilled teams. Yeah. Well, that's why Merrimack, we talk about Merrimack and Hockey East. Like, when they're home, they have a much bigger advantage against like a BC, BU, like skilled teams than they do on the road playing against BC and BU and Northeastern and those teams. Like, it's so much harder.
Yeah, it was. Well, listen, there's less places to go in the corner. Like, when the corners are really shallow, I think it's harder to break pucks out, but it's easier to defend guys. There's less place for them to go. It's just ever so slight, even if it's half a foot, right? Even if the radius is a few percent, little shallower, like, it makes it a little bit easier to defend. And when you look at, you heard Doug Wilson, or excuse me, not Wilson, Armstrong talking about going through the car wash with guys like Sanheim and Parayko and some of those big rangy defensemen. I think it's one of the reasons Seth Jones made that team. It's harder to get through guys when it's just a little bit tighter in a few different areas. of the rink. And D White in the chat is saying, I think it is the best forwards they have ever had with the 3 generational players in Crosby, Celebrini, McDavid. I mean, it does look like we know Crosby was that. Now McDavid is that. It does eventually, and I'm not saying this is going to happen today or tomorrow. You're still probably 5 more years away from this. I mean, how old is McDavid now, Johnny? In his late 20s?
He's a year younger than me, so he's turning 29.
So you're probably what, 3 to 5 years? Probably not 3. Probably closer to 4 to 5 of a torch passing to Celebrini. I mean, Celebrini's going to nip at his heels for a while, but that is pretty cool, dude, when you think of like the 3 generation of like generational superstar on that team, and you could really throw McKinnon and Carr into that as well.
And also, like, I know McDavid is the best player in the league without a doubt, but like, has the torch still been passed? Like, Crosby's the captain of Team Canada. Like, I don't know if he's passed the torch yet. But Sid's also like at over a point per game. Like, obviously McDavid's ridiculous, but I don't even know if Sid's passed the torch to McDavid yet.
I would say this.
It's tough. It's tough.
Symbolically, no. Symbolically, he has not passed it. But from a domination
nobody would pick Sid over McDavid.
Connor has dragged his team into 2 Stanley Cup finals in a row. We see the points he's putting up. We see I'm just saying, I would say just from a talent standpoint and the level of play, yes, McDavid is in his own. He's overtaken Sid. It doesn't mean Sid is not still one of the best players in the National Hockey League, but I do think it's still passed. Not symbolically, Johnny, because Sid's still there. But yes, in my opinion, I would say yes. So, what about this? To jump around a little bit, did you catch Philip Forsberg,
1 shift or 2 shifts?
One shift. And OEL sat on the bench as the 7th defenseman and didn't play a shift. Like, did he miss a meeting? How do you not work him into a shift? It's Oliver Ekman-Larsson. It's not some stiff we've never heard of. To me, that's fucking horseshit management. I got to tell you, I know Anders Sorensen very well, who's on the bench with Team Sweden. Right? He was in Rockford as an assistant when I worked in Chicago. He's an awesome guy. Got a chance to play golf with him and be around him a little bit. And so I almost texted him after the game, like, hey, what the hell happened with OEL? I didn't do it because I just felt like it would be almost a little disrespectful to text him.
It's definitely a lot disrespectful.
I would have done it in a joking manner. Like, we're buddies. Like, I can joke with him like that. You know what I mean? But like, how do you not work him into a shift? What happens if you need him in this tournament? And that's where I think early in the tournament, it's so difficult, to balance like getting guys in the right groove and giving guys chemistry, but also keeping players involved in the tournament. OEL sat there for 60 freaking minutes and didn't get a shift. That is weird to me. Like, in a game against Italy,
and they needed offense.
He can't.
I know he's not like an offensive defenseman, but he can at least shoot from the point. Like,
I thought that was very poorly mismanaged by the Sweden coaching staff. 13 forwards. I can understand a forward not playing. 7D. It's not that hard to rotate 7D, especially that 7D. They're studs.
I would argue it's easier to get a forward in than it is a defenseman.
Oh no way. No way.
Really?
Johnny, how many teams go 11-7 in the NHL? You can play.
Yeah, you're always rotating. You're always rotating a forward.
You can get into a rhythm and get enough minutes, and you can find 12 to 16 or 18 minutes for everyone in a game like that. I disagree completely. Even in my own coaching experience, much rather figure out a way to play 7D than 13 forwards. Much rather.
But they were literally playing the offensive zone the entire game. You can throw Forsberg out there on the wing for 1 shift.
I mean, it's not like he's a liability.
No,
we're not sitting here. That's what I mean. You're talking about 2 guys that have the resumes to not just be playing, but to be difference maker.
Yeah. I thought honestly Forsberg surprised me more.
Could something have happened with OEL where he was like being punished? That's a question that I have. Maybe they're
Did
not.
Did he not go to World
it.
Championships last year?
It could be that. Could he have been late to a meeting? I mean, I'm just saying it does not make sense to me in a game against Italy to have OEL with 0 minutes, right? Yeah. Maybe he's injured. I have no idea, and they don't want to tell anyone. I don't know. I thought that was a very strange move by Team Sweden to not have either of those two players involved. Those are not guys from the Swedish league, from the Allsvenskan. Those are two guys that have played in all-star games in the National Hockey League throughout their career.
Was it mentioned on the broadcast? Like, I don't remember seeing anything about it or even like realizing it was happening until after the game, when I think I saw Frank tweet out that they their minutes. But someone said, like, if Forsberg didn't have the best mustache, would we think he's that good? Philip Forsberg has been like a consistent like 30, 40 goal scorer over the past few years. He's put up 40 goals twice since 2022, had 42 goals in 69 games in 21-22, 48 goals in 23-24 in all 82 games, 31 goals last year and his 24 goals this year. But you know, he's been right up there.
He had 48 goals. Like, that's
2 years ago. Yeah.
Shitload of goals. 50.
3 years ago, I guess.
30. This year he's probably on pace for at least 30, but probably closer to 35 to 40. The 1 year he only had 19 goals. He only played 50 games, so was on pace for 30 that year or more. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not talking about like watching Pontus Holmberg get a bunch of minutes yesterday and Philip Forsberg rot on the bench. I don't know, man. That's something that didn't make a lot of sense.
Jenna's asking, like, if they were resting him because it was Italy. That's not a game that's exhausting. Like, they weren't really exerting a lot of energy yesterday. You know, listen, I'm not saying
I don't think so, Jenna. Listen, one thing I will say this. The way we look at hockey in the US and Canada, because having played in those countries, they look at hockey very differently. They handle situations very differently. From their practices, they don't, I remember playing in Finland and Sweden, like the first drill in practice, Johnny, was a 2-on-2 battle drill. There was no warm-up drill. There was
no flow drills.
Get the hands and feet going. Yeah. There was no get out on the ice and just kind of skate around a little bit and chat. You know what I mean? So it's a very different mentality over there. So while we're sitting here guessing, and Jenna, you're asking a good question, we're giving our guesses. We really don't know. We really don't know what's going on when it happens with one of these other hockey federations without knowing, because they think of things differently. They view things differently. Something we think is insane to them is normal.
Mm-hmm. No, I fully agree. But again, like it is, I wonder what Sweden looks like in their next game. You know, if Forsberg and Ekman Larsson get in with pairs and into a regular rotation, because it did seem.
Play next?
Let me see.
Finland.
They're Finland. Vic just said.
Got it.
I don't know. Can everyone hear Vic, or is that just us?
No, we heard him.
No, I know, but I don't know if that like goes to the show or just us. Whatever. Okay, let's start talking about the games today. We got Czechia and Canada coming up next at 10:30. Switzerland already won 4-0. Do you think yesterday's outcome gives Canada
I want to address Jenna in the chat. I do. And this is probably a touchy subject, but I want to talk through it with her because I have a lot of respect for her. And
can you read the comment?
That she doesn't want to be that guy, which is ironic and funny, but she says it's the Canada women. Girls is fairly condescending way to refer to grown-ups, especially elite ones. The only thing I would say back to that, Jenna, that I will push back on you is that we refer to the guys as boys too. Like you refer to you, like we're like, yeah, we're going out with the boys. Or when you're coaching the men's team or a pro team, you're like, come on, boys. Hey, the boys had their legs tonight. A coach gets out into an interview after the game and says, the boys were feeling it today. And like the boys were flying today. So I don't think that just happens to the women where we say the Canada girls or the Canada women. We do that with the guys too. I think that's
the girls also that I know. They refer to them like themselves as the girls too. Like they say it the same way.
The girls,
like the girls were great today. The girls were great.
Like like the girl. So I could just say this to you, Jenna. Like, I hear what you're saying, but I'm just like gonna push back a little bit, and respectfully, by the way, we do the same shit with the guys, with the boys. Like, we do the same shit. So I don't think anybody's thinking about it like that. I just think it's a way to separate the different teams. You know,
what even started that?
Jenna put something in the chat. They're talking about the women are playing right now. Is Poulin back? Is she playing? Can anybody tell us that? I'm going to try to find it on my computer here. I have the Peacock situation going on, and so I will try to find that. Go ahead, Johnny. You were just going into the next topic. And
I was going to talk about
today.
Do you think yesterday in watching Slovakia beat Finland is like, oh shit, like we can't come out, not ready to go here. Not that Canada was going to come out of the gates not ready to go against Czechia, but like the upsets yesterday and Italy staying in that game yesterday, it puts the teams who are playing their first game today in check a little bit, and not just sleepwalking through the first game when I think obviously a lot of Olympians get up for the first game, but you also sometimes think that first game might be a breeze. And today, I thought Canada would obviously beat Czechia today, but now I think they might come out and kick the shit out of them.
I think the Canadian leadership and the American leadership will go for blood and for the throat every time the jersey comes over their head. I think there is so much pride and leadership in those two locker rooms. I do not expect either of those teams, Johnny, to take anything lightly. I mean, Czechia is the furthest thing from a walkover.
Take lightly. Yeah.
Furthest thing from a walkover. And so I like that. That's something that I do not think yesterday influenced whatsoever. And Neil's letting us know that the Swiss did play this morning. And they did. It
was 2-0 going into the third, though. It wasn't like it was like so.
Now remember, these teams, Johnny, they haven't played together.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think the first game is.
But I don't think it has anything to do with taking your opponent lightly. I think it's more to do with just working things out and getting back in the game. Think about it. When's the last time the NHL guys played a game? It's been, 4 or 5 days?
I thought Sweden took Italy very lightly in the beginning of that game yesterday.
Okay, but Italy maybe a little differently. Maybe that's a little different. That's the one country that's not usually involved. You always play against Latvia. You always play against the Swiss. You always play against these other countries. We know the gap is getting tighter. There's more NHL players. I think that maybe is a little bit different. But I don't think that it's going to have this like big impact. Like, I think the big dogs are going to take care. Like, the Kachucks are not allowing anybody to take anything lightly. Jack Eichel, Charlie McAvoy, like, go down the list. These guys are fucking iron focused. Connor McDavid. You think Connor McDavid's allowing anybody to do anything but go through a fucking wall?
I more so meant like maybe Czechia could stay in it because it's the first game. And like,
Czechia's
they could
stay in it because they're good.
I do think Canada's going to win like 7 or 8-1. I think yesterday, if you'd asked me what I expect for this game, like, oh, Czechia might catch Canada by surprise. It's the first game. They might not have everything together. They might not be as sharp or as tight. But I feel like after yesterday's games, like just mentally something switches where it's like, if we don't bring our very, very, very best, like we might get embarrassed. Like I probably would have predicted 5-2 if you asked me yesterday what I think Canada would win today. But today I'm thinking it's going to be like 8-1. Like Ian Drawn just said, I think it'll be 4-2 Canada.
Yeah, I think it's more
Is the spread 2.5?
Maybe 4. I'd say 4-2, maybe 5-2 Canada would be my guess. That's my guess.
We need that Bet365 line, Vic, because if Ian's saying it's Canada minus 2.5, I would hammer that line right now. Hammer.
Let's talk about Bet365, Johnny.
We don't have our bet just yet. Maybe Vic can pull it up. We haven't discussed a bet. But tonight's Bet365, I guess we'll go with Canada on the puck line. Tonight's Bet365, bet of the night, whatever your bet is. It's never ordinary. Bet365, down the app and get in the game. You must be 19 or older. We are going to go with Canada against Czechia on the puck line. That game starts at 10:30. It's minus 2.5 at minus 118. That. Yeah, not bad odds at all. Canada should be able to win by more than 2 goals. So I am very confident in going with that. That game starts in about 45 minutes. I'll be on the couch pretty much all day watching games. Like I got some stuff in between doing a live post-game show for Team USA, so we should go on at about 6 o'clock Eastern, trying to lock in someone to do that with me. Probably talk for about 30 minutes about what we saw in the game. I'll have my notepad out. I'll be taking notes on Team USA's game against Latvia. We haven't really talked much about what to expect for that game. Clayton Keller seems like he's scratched. Connor Hellebuyck's going to be the starter. Anything there? We talked about USA a lot yesterday.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see how they look today. I'm going to do my best to pop on for a couple of minutes, but no promises. Okay. That's 6 p.m. is a fucking bewitching time at my house. My kids are in their sprint to go to bed at 6 p.m. and it's usually meltdown city. So no promises that I'll be able to take part, but I'll do my best to come on and help you a little bit. But hopefully everybody in our chat will be there, and hopefully you guys will help contribute and get your questions into the chat. And listen, I feel like after today there'll be a lot to talk about here moving forward. Like the tournament is kind of officially really getting rolling after today, right? You're going to see the big dogs start playing. The games are going to start happening. We'll probably start to see, storylines, injuries, like goaltending situations, all of the above. And so I think, tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Today, Thursday. We do have a show tomorrow.
Friday.
We are doing a show tomorrow. Another Friday. 2 Fridays in a row. So
and probably next Friday too.
For all of those of you keeping track at home, 2 Fridays in a row.
I will say too, because I saw Jenna follow up. Jenna said, I did a little quick Googling and I still think I'm right. Girls isn't common locker room slang. Jenna, I know a ton of women's players. Like I've heard them say it. Like it's not used as disrespect if someone says the girls are up 2-0. Like I promise no one meant it in a disrespectful way. If you took it that way, if you take it that way,
Yeah, listen,
obviously.
To each his own, but we're gonna push back on it a little bit. That's all. Yeah, we can see it differently, no problem. We certainly don't mean it that way.
Vic just gave us a heads up. Next Friday's show is actually going to be a recording of our live show from Thursday night. So, reminder, we do have that live event in New York City on Thursday night, and the tickets are free. So go to nationgear.ca. You can come literally for free. You get 2 free drinks. You can come hang out with us. We'll, shoot the shit live. We'll take pictures if you want some. We'll, whatever it is that you want from Colby and I, we will be there, and we would love to meet a lot of you that listen to our show regularly in person. So if you're in the area, come by. It won't cost you anything, and it should be a great night. So that show on Friday will be a recording of Thursday night's live show.
Last question for me that I'm going to ask you. Who are you starting in goal for Team Canada? Because it hasn't been announced. We haven't. Jon Cooper said he won't announce his starter. So I'm asking you, who are you starting?
I think you got to go Binnington, just out of respect for last year, right? Like won the 4 Nations. He was the guy. Let him or just let him get the start, see what he looks like in game 1, and then you go from there. Like it's one day at a time, one game at a time. I know it's cliche, but it's true in these tournaments. Like you can maybe give it to Logan Thompson, but why not go to the guy who won it for you last year and who played great in the tournament last year? Do you think differently?
Confirmed. Matthew Hyman said it has been confirmed that Binnington is starting. So there you go. There you go. So,
yeah.
By the way,
would you have not started him?
No, I would too. By the way, no, I would too. 100%. 100%. You have to start him, give him the first game, and then kind of see where you could go from there. But it could be a storyline. You don't play well against Czechia, which is a hard first game. Now all of a sudden, all anybody's talking about is Canada goaltending. So, all right, everyone, a little bit of a shorter show today, but you know what? That's all right, because Jonny will be back at 6-ish p.m. for how long is the post-game show? Do you know?
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Okay. 30-minute, maybe an hour post-game show, depending on how crazy it is. Jonny, maybe he'll do 3 hours. You'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see if you should ask Zach to come on. He loves post-game shows.
For the States?
Yeah, why not? He likes post-game shows. He's
good. He's good at it.
He's good at post-game shows. So, All right, listen, we hope everybody has a great day. Make sure you hit the like button. We'll be back tomorrow on Friday, so we'll have another show this week. Check out the post-game show here after Team USA ends. That'll be on the Daily Faceoff YouTube page. The rest of the lineup throughout today will be the normal lineup with all the additives, so keep an eye on that. I think there's a Team Canada live stream somewhere on our YouTube channels, right?
I think Tyler and Liam are doing it, I think.
Yeah, I think that might be over on Oilers Nation. So, keep an eye on all the different channels for all that. And we will, as we always do, catch up with everybody at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Go USA, and have a great day, everyone.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Morning Cuppa Hockey here on the Daily Faceoff YouTube channel. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. And don't forget, we've got more great hockey content every day. You can catch DFO live at noon and stick around for the Sheet with Jeff Marek at 1 p.m. right here on Daily Faceoff. Until then, keep your coffee hot and your takes hotter.